Hey guys, welcome to class. You did a great job on the discussion board posts last week. Interesting insights into the McDonald's Monopoly game fraud and how some simple, basic internal controls and preventative measures could have prevented that very expensive fraud. This week, so last week in chapter 7, we looked at investigating the Theft Act. This week in chapter 8, I'll have you read chapter 8, and it involves investigating concealment. How do fraudsters conceal their theft? And I want to go over the objectives for this week. And let me just share the screen with you. Okay, there we go. And so this week we're going to look at investigating concealment. And the learning objectives are, after studying this chapter, you should be able to describe concealment investigation methods and list how they relate to fraud. Understand the value of physical documents and electronic records in a fraud investigation. List the different methods of obtaining documentary evidence. Understand how to perform discovery sampling to obtain documentary evidence. And finally, explain extended procedures for hard to get documentary evidence. So, concealment investigative methods, I just want to go over a couple of these slides. After the theft that we looked at last week, additional evidential tracks occur as perpetrators conceal their fraud by trying to cover their actions, obscuring evidence, and removing red flags where possible. There are many methods of concealment, as you probably have realized. Uh, Possible concealment generally is accomplished by manipulating that documentary evidence that we talked about in previous classes. Manipulating purchase invoices, sales invoices, credit memos, deposit slips, checks, so on and so forth. From an electronic perspective, concealment is accomplished by modifying or deleting records in corporate databases, logs, and communications, even on personal computers. But what you'll realize, I hope, this week is that they're never permanently deleted. There are always footprints when we talk about, especially when we're talking about files on computers. Uh, Aspects of documentary evidence, most concealment-based investigative techniques involve ways to discover physical documents or computer records that have been manipulated or altered. When faced with a choice between an eyewitness and a good document as evidence, most fraud experts choose the document as opposed to an eyewitness. And you could imagine why, right? Document is something physical in writing and can't necessarily be interrogated on the stand. In today's interconnected financial world, it is nearly impossible to transfer money without creating documents along the way. And documents are almost always available to the fraud investigator who knows where to find them and can access them. So that's a brief teaser for the information this week. You've got an interesting discussion question. It deals with Fourth Amendment rights that that we all have as United States citizens. And so I'll give you a scenario and have you discussed whether the persons or the suspected fraudster, try to determine whether that suspected fraudster's Fourth Amendment rights were violated. So I look forward to some interesting discussion. What I'm going to ask you to do again this week is watch this video, then email me to certify that you watch the video, that you understand what's expected this week, and ask me any questions that you have. So that will count for um, Tuesday's class, the 24th, I believe. And then for Thursday's class, in order to get attendance credits, you'll give your initial post to the discussion question that's listed in Module 3 for this week. And it's under the link attendance for the week of March 23rd through March 29th. So that'd be your initial post. Remember, it should be 150 to 200 words. And then the second part of your attendance requirement for Thursday is to respond to at least 2 of your classmates and their initial posts. And those response posts are due by Sunday at midnight. Then on Monday, I'll look at these responses and give you credit for the previous Thursday's class. I hope that makes sense. It's the same way we did it last week. As always, if you have any questions or any concerns, please feel free to reach out. You can email me, text me, call me, however you want to reach out and get in touch with me. I'll be more than happy to help you with any concerns that you have. I'll see you on the discussion boards. Bye.